I think I'll give it from my perspective. I genuinely feel that after I came back, after living for 15 years outside, I felt I was an outsider in Odisha. And when I talk to the youth, I feel there is a loss in terms of our traditions, in terms of what we used to be. People don't understand that. And when I look at what they follow, I find that they do a bad job of aping Western traditions. So I feel at this point we have an identity crisis. We are not, we don't have any connections with our past, and our connections with our present are very, very tenuous. So I think in Utsha Foundation, the idea is to develop a contemporary identity for today's youth that allows them to feel proud about where they come from, but do it in a contemporary way in which they can talk to anybody in the world, anybody in India without feeling that they are inferior to anyone. And I think it's very important that the traditions that we have marry with the contemporary world that we live in, and that marriage is what Utsa is trying to achieve with all its different events. I think the big piece from today that we can take away is that you have 4 such amazing people from Odia culture now going to interact with 4 artists who are from outside Odisha and 4 artists who are from Odisha. This collaboration is going to move the dial of experimentation in Odisha in a big way. In a similar format, I think what we're going to do in the next few events, we have an event coming up in the Bhubaneswar Book Fair, which we are trying to negotiate right now, where we're going to try and conceptualize what literature means for today's youth. It is not about going and reading books anymore. It's about trying to figure out why a book is an important thing. When I was growing up, I read books all the time. I don't see that in today's youth. I see the libraries are empty. I see people are looking at televisions more. So I'm trying to figure out how can we inspire people in a place like the Bhubaneswar Book Fair to come and look at a book in a different way. So that is one example. Similarly, I think we'll have many more events where we're going to try and change how people perceive their life, perceive the objects around in their life in a much more serious manner. And today's workshop, or today's inaugural event was an attempt in that direction.